Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Halton Hills housing update. So apologies in advance, Brooke is on 2 weeks of vacation, so that means there's no captions today and more importantly, no editing. So I have to try and get through this in one take. So today we are gonna look at April's unofficial numbers. You know, there might be a few things that still trickle in, but the numbers are really interesting and showing major signs towards what we've been talking about, the fact that we're leaving that seller's market. So in April of 2021, we sold 147 units. In April of 2022, we sold 91 units. So that is down 38%. What's more interesting is the months where we have been down units year over year, it's been directly correlated to the fact that there's been no inventory to buy. So our sales were low because there was literally no houses on the market, but that was different this month. There is and was plenty of homes to buy in the month of April, and they simply were not being bought. So to be down 38% and inventory actually being available is a huge indicator that things are changing. Now looking at average price point, and I think this is a really important conversation that a lot of people are kind of losing sight of. So our average price in 2021 was $1,069,000. This year it's 1.385 million. So we are up 29% year over year. We are down 5% since March. So people are kind of freaking out that their houses are going down in price and that they're not getting the money that they should be getting out of their houses. But we need to not lose sight of the fact that what happened the first 3 months of this year was completely insane. And so still, we could correct by 20% this month and our market is still gonna be up 10%. In a normal year, we would see a 6 to 8% increase on real estate. So we're up 30%. Yes, we are down from the peak we saw in February and even March numbers, but we are still so up. We still have such a ways to go before we are so far backwards on this stuff. So I just want people to keep that in mind, that we are correcting and we're going back. Yes, we're going back, which people are freaking out, but we are just going back to where we were in 2021. It's kind of like, oh, this whole year of chaos didn't happen. And now let's get back to sort of where we should be. So it is going to be so interesting to see what happens in May, but just don't lose sight of how much money was actually made on your real estate investments in just the last year. So looking at the sales last week, Georgetown had 15 sales. This week, here's with the no editing. This number has been pretty consistent. We've been seeing between 12 and 16 sales with tons of inventory available. So we are now in this stabilized market where this is how many properties generally transact. And so 15 sales this week, tons of options to buy, but the buyers just aren't there. What is not great news for the sellers out there is there was 31 new listings in Georgetown this week. That is a very high number for Georgetown. And it's certainly not in a time when we need it right now because there is just so much on the market, but that trend of inventory rising is just continuing. So Acton this week had 6 sales and 3 new listings. Glen Williams had 3 sales, which is a very big week for the Glen, and 1 new listing. Nothing happened in Limehouse, and the rural market had 1 sale and 3 new listings. So now looking at active inventory, which is what we have been really paying attention to the last few weeks. So we are up to 127 available units in Halton Hills. My highest number ever in the last 2 years of doing these updates is June of 2020, we hit 137 and we just kind of went down from there. And so we are getting very close to a 2-year high right now. So we went up from 114 to 127 this week, and that is just it's a lot of inventory. Georgetown is hands down the market that is feeling this the most. It just will not stop with the new listings, and the buyers are just not out right now. And so this is really interesting. So Georgetown last week was at 74. This week we're at 91 active listings in Georgetown. That is a really big number. That's even a big number like in a regular market. Like we would see 110 to 130 units in Georgetown, but pretty insane to think where we were 8 weeks ago to now. Our inventory from January is literally like 10 times the amount. So this is not good news for sellers. Under 800,000 is up this week. We had 6 last week. We are at 9 active listings this week under 800. 800 to $1 million is up from 14 to 16 active listings. And I mean, this poor price point, $1 million to $1.5 million. Last week we were at 36, which I thought was a crazy number. This week we're at 49. That pocket is packed with inventory. There are so many available units there and so many things to choose from. I am still in shock when I think about this number. Just again, knowing where we came from. Like we thought 2 months ago, like, is this ever gonna end? But like here we are, and this is just having this much supply and this low demand is what's gonna cause prices to continue to drop or continue to correct, as I've been saying. So 1.5 million plus is down slightly this week to 17 active listings. So not a ton of listings in the higher ticket stuff, kind of saturating the market, but that mid price point, yeah, between 800 and 1.5 million, we're sitting at 65 of the 91 listings. So there's so much in that pocket. Now looking at Acton. Acton's inventory is down slightly this week because they did have quite a few sales. So it's down to 14 active listings in Acton. Glen Williams is down to 4 active listings. Limehouse has no active listings, and the rural market is up to 18. So overall, the same thing is trending and happening this week as that, gosh, here we go. That has been happening the last 4 weeks. We are fully transitioning out of our seller's market. It means we're gonna stop seeing things like offer nights. They simply are not working anymore. We're gonna start seeing everyone listing their house at market value. We are gonna see conditions coming back. I guarantee you we are gonna start seeing the sale of buyers' properties coming back because buyers have options right now, and they're also still in a situation where they're gonna be listing their house now in these markets that are saturated. And another thing is we are gonna start seeing sellers, or well, I guess buyer sellers, but people selling their house before they buy, which is something we have really not, like 99% of buyers in the last 2 years have been buying before they sell because there has been nothing for them to choose from. So we're gonna start seeing a lot of different things here. So watching this closely, I think May is going to be a not great month for prices based on what's happening here, but we'll be watching it closely. So I hope you all have a great week. See you next Tuesday.